Prayers.
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you've been pleased called to the performance of such important tasks in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner, so as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you've committed to their charge. Amen.
Item number 2, communication from the chair.
Honourable members, I welcome you to this morning's sitting and thank you very much for coming. I'm just giving notice that I will have to inconvenience you again on Thursday morning so that you can come back to the House. Owing to the amount of work we need to do by the end of this week, namely completing the insurance bill, anti-money laundering bill, anti-terrorism bill, all of which must be done by Friday. We shall sit this morning to deal with the insurance bill. Hopefully we'll finish it and then we can do other work in the afternoon. And also to, Thursday, as we have indicated. Then on a sad note, we have again lost a very senior citizen in the person of the Honorable Joas Mayanja Akanji, former Category of Uganda, former Minister of Finance, Chairman of the Uganda Land Commission. The body will be brought here on Thursday at midday. That's why we have to sit in the morning, do some work, and then we'll pay tribute in the afternoon. So I want to appeal to the members to come, both be here today and also be here on Thursday. Thank you very much. Okay, 2 minutes. Where is Honorable Shaija? She's not here? Okay, 2 minutes. Don't exceed.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me time to present this matter of national importance. Honorable Speaker, the last 10 years, the Bugungu community of Police and Bunyoro Kingdom has given maximum cooperation to government for oil exploration, only to find out that we have absent landlords, mafia in Kampala, claiming community land, even after the president had been informed and came down in 2010, directed revoking all those offers, but no more should be issued. To our surprise, 2 weeks ago, the Minister of Lands, Madam Betty Amonga, and I want to thank her for personally coming down after the president's directive to find that the 36 villages which the oil companies are interested in for the central processing unit, for the well pads, and for the pipeline are all being claimed by Kampala. People who have did plans, who have some surveys done by GPS without a single neighbor's consent. And they are now holding the oil companies at ransom, asking for hundreds of billions of money in compensation. So when the president gave licenses for development and production, each village the oil companies go to is being claimed by Kampala, and yet they want to deal with the community to start work. And Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you because it took your debate in Parliament here for the Bunyoro oil roads to be remembered. If it wasn't for that debate, the budget framework paper did not even provide money for any work to be done in the region. The land sector isn't talked about, so the roads are being remembered of oil. Now we thank Minister Amongi, who has made her effort to come. We need technical experts, we need surveyors, but not only for the oil investment land survey. Our prayer to Parliament is that government finds the money for systematic demarcation of land in Ulisa, that government registers communal associations for where all this oil is found, so that the communities are the ones to be talked for resettlement and compensation, instead of the Kampala mafias who deliberately are speculated on this land, specifically for oil. Madam,
Calm down. You know, I thought we should raise those matters mainly in the afternoon, but instead there was something they wanted which was very urgent. Honorable Organ and Rabushaja will raise their matters in the afternoon sitting. In the afternoon sitting. I want to go to the insurance bill.
Madam Speaker, I now want to lay on table the presidential directive written to Prime Minister Nsibambi then, directing review of all those land which had been offered earlier, and also to stop any further. But to our surprise, they have defied the president and they have been doing their own things. I want to lay on table. Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to lay on table our able Minister of Lands, Madam Minister Betty Amongi, who is serving Project Uganda, who took time off her desk to reverse this injustice. A letter directing all these actions which were done after the presidential visit must all be rescinded. But, Madam Speaker, this leaves behind the purpose which brought the president, the earlier offers. These are the all areas which were targeted for the earlier refinery option, for the pipeline and well pads. And finally, Madam Speaker, I want to lay on table what the minister found out, what they had to give her as what they had so far done after the president's visit. But to our surprise, Madam Speaker, again, we found out last week another 28 major installations. The record is even concealed. So I think some of these folks should even be arrested, because they have not only defied the president, but they are hardcore criminals, real mafias. The DPC has been chasing people from clearing their gardens, that the land has owners in Kampala. The minister was there for 2 days, no single police escort, but 50 policemen, 60 are chasing villagers from their gardens. So that it's a very highly connected mafia group, which I think we need government to intervene. I thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Government Chief Whip, the situation in Bulisa is a bit volatile. Maybe you need to say something about it.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Lands, Honorable Betty Amongi, is right on the ground. She has been cancelling land titles all over this country. A fresh directive was given recently in cabinet by the president. We are not only going to cancel illegal land titles, we are going to penalize those who have connived in order to make sure that we recover. They have to compensate. Actually, the president called it compensation. You connived, you got an illegal land title. Cancellation of a land title is not enough. So such people are going to be handled. They will be punished. And I think this is an area where the minister in charge of lands will keep on briefing Parliament and the relevant, stakeholders through meetings with MPs. We've already done one from Central, and I'm sure she will organize other regional meetings with members of Parliament. This is a serious matter, Right Honorable Speaker, and we are handling it. I want to thank you.
Okay, but I think I want to commend Honorable Mukitale. He has been consistent on this struggle. From the 7th Parliament, he has been on this struggle. Honourable members, Bills Committee stage.
Item number 3, Bills Committee stage. The Insurance Bill 2016, Clause 39.
Question is that clause 39 do stand part of the bill. Honorable Chair.
Madam Chair, we propose to amend clause 39 as follows. The capital requirement of a mutual insurance company shall be prescribed in the regulations made under this Act. Our justification is to remove the details of capital requirements to be paid by the mutual insurance companies to be provided for in the regulations.
Members, I put the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 39 as amended.
The question is that clause 39 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 40.
Clause 40, Honorable Chair.
Madam Chair, we propose that clause 40 be deleted. Our justification is that consequential amendment to having the capital requirements spelled out under the regulations.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 40 be deleted. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 41.
41, Honourable Chair.
41, we propose to amend it as follows. 1, in subclause 1, by deleting the word transact and substituting it with the words carry on. 2, by deleting subclause 2 and 3. Our justification is these matters are to be provided for in the regulations.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 41 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 41 as amended.
Put the question that clause 41 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 42.
42, Honourable Chair.
Clause 42, we propose to amend it by inserting a new paragraph G immediately after paragraph F as follows, and the paragraphs to be renumbered. G, such other matters as the authority considers appropriate. Justification is to cater for other matters that may not be provided for under the above paragraphs.
The members, the question that clause 42 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 42 as amended.
The question is that clause 42 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 43.
43, the question is that clause 43 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 44.
Question 44, Honourable Chair.
Clause 44, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. 1, by substituting for subclause 2 the following. 2, an insurance license issued under subsection 1 remains in force until suspended, valid or revoked. 2, in subclause 3, by deleting the words 90 days and substituting the words with 60 days. Justification for better drafting and to reduce the number of days the authority has to communicate its decision in regard to the grant of an application.
The members, the question is that clause 44 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 44 as amended.
The question that clause 44 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 45.
45, Honourable Chair.
Clause 45, we propose to amend it as follows. 1, by deleting subclause 1 and substituting it with the following. the authority may at any time vary, suspend, or revoke the license of an insurer to carry out business under this Act, where 2. In subclause 1B, A, inserting the word "and" immediately after the word "principles," and B, by deleting the words "and ethics as prescribed by the Uganda Insurers Association" and filed with the authority. 3. In subclause 1C, by deleting the words "or that the net assets of the insurer are below the minimum prescribed paid-up capital." 4. By substituting for subclause 1D the following: D, the insurer is not in compliance with the capital adequacy requirements prescribed in the regulations. 5. By deleting subclause 1E. 6. By adding a new subclause 9 immediately after subclause 8 to read as follows: the provisions of the Act continue to apply to an insurer despite the suspension or revocation of its license. Justification: it is proper that insurers conduct their business on sound insurance principles and practices.
Now, members, the question is that clause 45 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 45 as amended.
Put the question that clause 45 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause
Put
46.
the question that clause 46 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 47.
Put the question that clause 47 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 48.
Put the 48, Honorable Chair.
Clause 48, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. 1. In the head note, by inserting the words "and other prudential" immediately after the word "adequacy." 2. By deleting
Honorable Chair, I have some difficulties. Okay, there's something I found.
2, Madam Chair, we propose to delete subclause 2 and substituting it with the following. 2, for the purposes of this section, capital resources has the meaning specified in the regulations made under subsection 3. 3, in subclause 3, by inserting the words "and other prudential" immediately after the word "adequacy." Justification: to cater for other prudential requirements to be prescribed in the regulations.
Now, members, I put the question that clause 48 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 48 as amended.
Put the question that clause 48 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 49.
Question 49.
49, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. Clause 49 is deleted and substituted with the following. 49, technical provisions. An insurer and an HMO shall establish and maintain the technical provisions prescribed in the regulations made by the authority under section 48(3). Justification: technical provisions is the term used in the ICPs. The term reserves for outstanding claims is not correct, as it implies that the insurer must know a claim before a reserve is required.
Members, the question is that clause 49 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Aye. Ayes have it.
Clause 49 as amended.
The question is clause 49 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 50.
Honorable Chair.
Clause 50, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. 1, by deleting subclause 1 and substituting it with the following. An insurer or an HMO shall comply with such requirements concerning investments as are specified in regulations made by the authority. 2, by deleting subclause 2 and 3. Justification: provide clarity in the provision and the details contained in subclauses 2 and 3 are matters to be provided in the regulations.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 50 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 50 as amended.
The question is that clause 50 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 51.
51.
51, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. In paragraph B, by deleting the words paid up capital and the other capital and substituting the words capital resources. Justification: to comply with ICP 17 that mandates the supervisors to establish capital adequacy requirements for companies.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 51 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 51 as amended.
I put the question that clause 51 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 52.
52, Honourable Chair.
Clause 52, we propose to amend it by deleting clause 52 and substituting it with the following. 52, no reduction in share capital of insurer or HMO. An insurer or HMO shall not reduce its paid-up share capital or cause or permit its paid-up share capital to be reduced without the prior written consent of the authority, and any resolution passed in contravention of this section is void and of no effect. Justification: to comply with ICP 17.9, which requires any variations in the regulatory capital requirements imposed by the authority to be made in a transparent framework.
Honourable members, yes, Honourable Court. 52.
Yeah, Madam Chair, in clause 51.
We are past. We are on 52.
No, yes, but in 51, we have just replaced paid-up capital with the capital resources. But in 52, we are still maintaining paid-up that an insurer or HMO shall not reduce its paid-up share capital. Why don't we adopt capital resources, which we have replaced in 51 with the, instead of paid-up share capital? I thought that's what we have just removed from the bill.
Honourable Chair, you have understood? Yes, Honourable Boto.
Before the chairman comes in, because I'm a member of the committee, what we intended is that any insurance provider does not reduce the share capital. So the solution is not in allowing the authority to authorize them to reduce it. I thought we had agreed if you want to be an insurer, this is the share capital. Because the way you are reading 52 is like if the authority allows them, they can reduce the share capital. Then we are creating a situation where they can influence the authority to allow them. Probably we just stick to saying to provide insurance capital in Uganda, this is the threshold. I thought that was the spirit in the committee.
Now, Honorable Otieno's problem is that in a 51, you have removed the word paid up capital and replaced it with resources. But now in this one, you have brought it back. So it's saying, why do you have something different 51, something different 52?
Madam Chairperson, both words are being used in the bill to mean different things.
Why did you remove the other one then? I thought you didn't want the word paid up capital. That's why you introduced resources.
No. Paid up capital and capital resources mean different things, and therefore they are used in different situations depending on where it applies, Madam Chair.
Okay, Honour members, the question is that clause 52 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 52 as amended.
With the question that clause 52 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 53.
53, Honourable Chair.
Clause 53, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it by deleting subclause 1 and substituting it with the following. 1. A life insurer shall establish and maintain segregated funds as required by the regulations. 2. By deleting subclause 2 and substituting it with the following. 2. For the purposes of subsection 1, segregated funds has the meaning specified in the regulations made under subsection 1. 3. By deleting subclause 3 and substituting it with the following. 3. An insurer that contravenes subsection 1 is liable to a fine not exceeding 1,000 currency points. Justification: 1 is for better drafting, and 2, to have the details of the segregated accounts to be provided in the regulations, and to provide for a default fine on contravention of subsection 1.
Honour members, the question is that clause 53 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 53 as amended.
The question is that clause 53 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 54.
54, Honourable Chair.
54, we propose to amend it by A, deleting the head note and substituting it with the following. Restriction on loans. B, by deleting subclause 1 and substituting it with the following. 1, an insurer or HMO shall not, without the prior written approval of the authority, give a loan to an officer or a director of the insurer, except A, where a loan on a life policy limited to the policy's surrender value, where the right to borrow the same amount is also provided to the policyholder of that class, or a loan forming part of the terms and conditions of service of that officer or director, repayable within 3 years. C, by deleting subclause 2 and substituting it with the following. Notwithstanding subsection 1, the total aggregate of the loans given to an officer or director of an insurer or HMO shall not exceed 10% of the paid-up capital of the insurer or HMO. D, by deleting subclause 3 and substituting it with the following. An insurer or HMO who gives a loan to an officer or director contrary to subsection 1 and 2 commits an offense and is liable to a fine double the amount of the loan given. Our justification, Madam Chair, is to provide for stronger regulation of the authority and to provide for the HMOs that had been left out.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 54 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 54 as amended.
The question is that clause 54 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 55.
55.
55, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. By deleting the words, hold more than 1/3 of the shares of that company and substitute the words except as permitted by the regulations. Justification to provide for flexibility in regulation by the authority.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 55 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 55 as amended.
I put the question that clause 55 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Okay.
Clause 56.
Honourable Chair.
56, we propose to amend it as follows. A, by inserting the words and HMOs after the words insurers in the head note. B, by inserting the words or the prior written approval of the authority immediately after the word act. Justification, the authority should be able to give its approval on a case-by-case basis.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 56 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 56 as amended.
Put the question that clause 56 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 57.
57, Honourable Chair.
57, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. A, by deleting subclause 1 and substituting it with the following. 1, an insurer or an HMO shall not make a distribution by any of its shareholders unless immediately after the distribution, the insurer or HMO complies with the capital adequacy requirements prescribed by the authority in the regulations made under Section 48.3 and or other prudential requirements applicable to the insurer or HMO. B, by deleting subclause 3 and substituting it with the following. An insurer or HMO that contravenes subsection 1 shall recover from its shareholders the dividends paid to them and be liable to a fine not exceeding 1,000 currency points. Justification, Madam Chair, is to allow the companies make distributions to their shareholders provided that they comply with the capital adequacy requirements.
No members, the question is as clause 57. You have an issue?
I noted that I noticed there was a slight variation in the wording here. The text I have here reads in clause 1, subclause 1, an insurer or an HMO shall not make a distribution to any of its shareholders. But I listened to the chair. He was saying distribution by any. So that's right. That's what he said. No.
No, Chair, what did you say on that issue?
Madam Chair, our amendment reads as follows. An insurer or an HMO shall not make a distribution to any of its shareholders unless immediately after the distribution, the insurer or HMO complies with the capital adequacy requirements prescribed by the authority in the regulations made under section 48.3 and all other prudential requirements applicable to the insurer or HMO.
It's now clear, Madam Chair.
Okay, no members, the question is that clause 57 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 57 as amended.
Put the question that clause 57 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 58.
58, Honorable Chair.
Madam Chair, we propose to amend clause 58 by inserting a new subclause 4 immediately after subclause 3 as follows. 4. The insurer or HMO shall carry out ongoing review of suitability of the board members, senior management, key persons in control functions, and significant owners. Our justification is to make the law compliant with ICP 5.3, ongoing reviews on suitability of the board members, senior management, and key persons in control functions and significant owners.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 58 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 58 as amended.
Put the question that clause 58 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 59.
59.
59, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. A, by inserting the word or HMO immediately after the word insurer, wherever it appears in the clause. B, by deleting subclause 2. C, in subclause 3A, by adding the words as prescribed in Schedule 2 immediately after the word person. D, in subclause 3B, by inserting the words without the prior written approval of the authority immediately after the words in Uganda. E, by inserting a new subclause 5 immediately after subclause 4 to read as follows. The board of directors of an insurer or an HMO has ultimate responsibility for the business and affairs of the insurer or HMO and for ensuring its effective organization. Our justification, Madam Chair, is 1, to cover all licensees and to avoid cross-dictatorship in licensees. Cross-directorship in licensees. 2, subclause 2 is provided for under clause 103(2). There is therefore no need to have it under this clause. 3, to make the board have ultimate responsibility for the business and affairs of the insurer or HMO.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 59 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 59 as amended.
Put the question that clause 59 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 60.
The question is that clause 60 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 61.
61, Honourable Chair.
Clause 61, we propose to amend it as follows. A, in subclause 1, by inserting a new paragraph E and F immediately after paragraph D as follows. such other control functions as may be specified in the regulations made under this Act. And F, such other functions as the insurer considers appropriate for the nature, scale, and complexity of its insurance business. B, in subclause 2, by adding a new paragraph D immediately after paragraph C to read as follows: internal audit function. C, by deleting subclause 3B and C and substituting it with the following: appoint an individual to 1, undertake the responsibilities of each control function, or 2, where the responsibilities of the control function are to be undertaken by more than one employee or to be outsourced, have overall responsibility for and oversight of the control function. Justification, Madam Chair, is for clarity.
Honourable members, I put the question that Clause 61 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 61 as amended.
I put the question that Clause 61 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 62.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 62, we propose to amend it by deleting subclause 2D and substituting it with the following: provide for the effective identification and management of insurance risk, credit risk, liquidity risk, market risk, operational risk, reputational risk, and such other risks as the authority may by regulations determine. Justification is to cater for other risks that may emerge that are not specifically enumerated in the Act.
Honourable members, I put the question that Clause 62 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 62 as amended.
Put the question that Clause 62 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 63.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 63, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it by deletion and substituting the following: payment of premiums. 1, subject to subsection 2, the insured shall pay in full the premiums payable under the insurance contract on or before the date of inception of the policy or renewal of the policy. 2, the authority may, by regulations, provide for the payment of premiums in any other manner. Our justification, Madam Chair, is that the premium should be payable on or before the inception of the policy.
Honourable members, the question is that Clause 63 be amended. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 63 as amended.
Put the question that Clause 63 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no.
Clause 64.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 64, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows: A, by deleting subclause 1 and 2 and substituting with the following: 1, an insurer or HMO shall not issue any policy of insurance if the premium rates and commission rates contravene any regulations made by the authority under subsection 2. 2. The authority may prescribe minimum premium or maximum commission rates for any class or type of insurance business. B, by deleting subclause 3. Our justification is that requiring the approval of the authority for all premiums and commission rates is an outdated approach that is neither consistent with the ICPs or risk-based.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 64 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 64 as amended.
I put the question that clause 64 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 65.
65, Honourable Chair.
65, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it by deleting subclause 2 and substituting it with the following. Subject to subsection 3, if the authority has approved the text or format of a policy or proposal form under subsection 1, an insurer or HMO shall not make any amendments to the policy or proposal form without the prior written approval of the authority. 3, where the authority does not approve or reject the text or format of a policy or proposal form or an amendment in the text or format within the prescribed period, the insurer shall treat the text or format of the policy or the proposal form or amendment as approved. Justification is for clarity and to give the authority the mandate to reject the text format of the policy or proposal form.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 65 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 65 as amended.
Put the question that clause 65 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 66.
Clause 66, honourable members.
Clause 66, Madam Chair, we propose that it should be deleted and substituted with the following. Where an insurer lowers the approved premium rates without the approval of the authority may order the cancellation of the policy issued under the altered premium rates and a pro rata refund of the premium in respect of the unexpired period of the risk shall be paid to the insured. 2, where an insurer lowers the approved premium rates without the approval of the authority may require the company to offer adequate refund to the insured. Justification, Madam Chair, is that policyholders affected by the cancellation should be adequately compensated.
Honourable members, put the question that clause 66 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 66 as amended.
Put the question that clause 66 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 67.
Honourable Chair, 67.
Clause 67, Madam Chair, we propose to delete it and substitute it with the following. Reinsurance arrangements. 1. A licensed direct insurer, HMO, and a micro-insurance organization shall have such arrangements as it considers appropriate for the reinsurance of risks under insurance contracts that it has entered into in the course of its business as an insurer or a micro-insurance organization. 2. A licensed direct insurer, HMO, or a micro-insurance organization shall not, without the prior written authorization of the authority under subsection 3, enter into a reinsurance contract as cedant or as cedant other than A with a licensed reinsurer, with a qualifying foreign reinsurer, or C, in accordance with such arrangements as may be specified in the regulations. 3, the authority may, on the application of a licensed direct insurer, HMO, or a micro-insurance organization, authorize insurer, HMO, or micro-insurance organization to enter into a reinsurance contract as cedant with a foreign direct insurer or a foreign reinsurer that is not a qualifying foreign reinsurer. 4, the regulations may specify requirements in relation to the reinsurance arrangements of licensed direct insurers and micro-insurance organizations, and the retrocession arrangements of the licensed reinsurers, including by A, requiring 1, licensed direct insurers and micro-insurance organizations to provide the authority with prior written notice of their insurance arrangements. 2, licensed reinsurers to provide the authority with prior written notice of their retrocession arrangements. And 3, the approval of the authority with respect to certain specified reinsurance or retrocession contracts or arrangements. B, imposing restrictions on the reinsurance or retrocession of risks with foreign insurers. And C, specifying requirements in relation to the reinsurance arrangements of licensed direct insurers and micro-insurance organizations and the retrocession arrangements of the licensed insurers. Justification, Madam Chair, is provide for risk transfer strategies appropriate to the nature, scale, and complexity of their business and which are part of their wider underwriting and risk and capital management strategies to comply with ICP 13.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 67 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 67 as amended.
Put the question that clause 67 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 68.
68, Honourable Chair.
Clause 68, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. A, in the head note by inserting the words or cancellation immediately after the word modification. B, by deleting subclause 1 and substituting it with the following. 1. An insurer or HMO shall inform the authority within 5 working days of any modification or cancellation in the amount of its net retention in all classes of business which it undertakes. C, in subclause 3, by inserting the words or HMO immediately after the word insurer on the 3rd line of the clause. Justification is to provide for cancellation in insurers' net retention and to reduce the number of days within which the authority should be informed by the insurer or HMO of any modification or cancellation of their net retention.
The members, I put the question that clause 68 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no.
Aye.
Please have it.
Clause 68 as amended.
Put the question that clause 68 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 69.
Honorable Chair.
We propose to amend clause 69 by deleting it and substituting it with the following. Annual reinsurance returns. An insurer and a reinsurance company licensed under this act shall within 90 days from the end of the calendar year submit to the authority its in a prescribed form details of the reinsurance or retrocession returns and details of the reinsurers or retrocessionaries, retrocessionaires with whom they maintain business relationships in respect of risks falling within the scope of this act. Justification, Madam Chair, is that the 90 days should run from the end of the calendar year.
The members, I put the question that clause 69 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 69 as amended.
Put the question that clause 69 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 70.
Put the question that clause 70 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 71.
Honorable Chair.
Uh,
A golden. A golden.
Clause 71, Madam Chair, we propose to delete it and substitute it with the following. Modifications where terms of reinsurance contracts not favorable. The authority may, after the scrutiny of a proposed reinsurance contract, direct an insurer in writing, A, not to enter into or renew the contract unless specified modifications are made to the terms and conditions of the contract. B, not to renew the contract if the terms and conditions of the contract are not favorable to the insurer or are not in the interest of the economy of Uganda or the insurance industry or are not in the public interest. Justification: to enable the authority direct modification of the reinsurance contract.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 71 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 71 as amended.
Put the question that clause 71 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 72.
Honorable Chair, 72.
Madam Chair, we propose to amend clause 72 by deleting the word broking. Our justification is that the companies are known as insurance companies and not insurance broking companies.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 72 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 72 as amended.
Put the question that clause 72 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 73.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 73, we propose to amend it by A, by deleting the head note and substituting it with the following. Foreign reinsurers representatives. B, in subclause 1, by deleting the words reinsurance company and substituting it with the word reinsurer. 2, by deleting the word authority in the first line and substituting the word approval. C, in subclause 2, by deleting the word authority appearing after the word granting and substituting it with the word approval. D, in subclause 3(1), by deleting the word authority appearing after the word where and substituting the word approval. 2, by deleting the words reinsurance company and substituting the word reinsurer. Justification, Madam Chair, is for clarity.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 73 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 73 as amended.
I put the question that clause 73 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 74.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 74, we propose to amend it by A, by deleting subclause 1(c) and substituting the following. Uganda Re, a minimum of 15% of its reinsurance of its treaty and what?
Which I wanted you to explain that word to me. Facultative.
Facultative
Yes.
sessions. B, by deleting subclause 3 and substituting the following. An insurer or reinsurer who fails to comply with subsection 1 is liable to a fine to be prescribed by regulations. C, in subclause 5, by inserting the word national immediately after the words of the in the first line. Justification is to enable quick administrative action by insurance regulatory authority to deter further contravention and to provide clarity to the clause.
Someone would give us an explanation? They come with it. Okay, when members have put the question that clause 74 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 74 as amended.
Put the question that clause 74 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 75.
Put the question that clause 75 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 76.
Honorable Chair, 76.
Clause 76, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it in subclause 1 by deleting the words, one of which is licensed under this act. Justification is provided for clarity to the clause.
Now, members, put the question that clause 76 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 76 as amended.
Put the question that clause 76 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 77.
Put the question that clause 77 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 78.
Put the question that clause 78 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 79.
Put the question that clause 79 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 80.
Put the question that clause 80 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 81.
Put the question that clause 81 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 82.
Honorable Chair.
Clause 82, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it in sub-clause 2 by deleting the words for the purposes of subsections 1 and substituting the word without limiting subsection 1. Justification is to broaden the prohibition provided for under clause 82(1).
Honourable members, the question is that clause 82 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 82 as amended.
Put the question that clause 82 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 83.
83, Honourable Chair.
Clause 83, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it in subclause 1 by deleting paragraph H. Our justification is that third-party administrator license is not an insurance intermediary. Actually, the actual word is licensee.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 83 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 83 as amended.
Put the question that clause 83 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 84.
Honourable Chair.
84, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it by A, in the head note, by inserting the words or reinsurance immediately after the word insurance. B, by inserting the words or reinsurance immediately after the word insurance in the second line of the clause. Justification is to have reinsurance companies carrying on business in Uganda to be incorporated under the Uganda Companies Act 2012.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 84 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 84 as amended.
Put the question that clause 84 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 85.
85, Honourable Chair.
Clause 85, we propose to amend it by A, by deleting sub-clause 3 and substituting the following. The authority shall not grant a license or renew an insurance intermediary's license if the applicant is not a fit and proper person within the meaning of Schedule 2 to the Act. B, by adding a new subclause 6 immediately after subclause 5 to read as follows. Every insurance intermediary shall establish and maintain the following control functions. A risk management function, and B, a compliance function. Justification is to comply with ICP 18 that mandates the supervisor to ensure the intermediaries carry out their business in a professional way.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 85 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 85 as amended.
Put the question that clause 85 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 86.
Put the question that clause 86 do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 87.
Put the question that clause 87 do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 88.
Honourable Chair, 88.
Clause 88, we propose to amend it by inserting 58 immediately after the word sections, wherever the word appears in the clause. Justification is that the provision should apply to section 58 of the bill.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 88 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 88 as amended.
Put the question that clause 88 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 89.
Honourable Chair, 89.
Clause 89, we propose to amend it as follows. A, in the head note, by deleting the words certain insurance intermediaries and substituting the words insurance and reinsurance brokers. B, by deleting subclause 1 and substituting the following. 1, every insurance broker and reinsurance broker shall not carry on business of insurance broking unless it maintains at all times while carrying on that business a paid-up capital as stipulated in the regulations, and shall furnish the authority with proof of registration of the authority's lien on the deposit.
Honourable members, put the question that clause 89 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 89 as amended.
Put the question that clause 89 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 90.
Put the question that clause 90 be deleted. Those
It's the same.
Ati?
We propose deletion of clause 90, Madam Chair.
That's what I was saying. I put the question that clause 90 be deleted. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 91.
Clause 91, Honourable Chair.
Clause 91, we propose to amend it by A, by inserting the words or HMOs immediately after the word insurer, wherever it appears in the entire clause. B, by deleting subclause 3 and substituting the following. An insurance broker or an insurance agent who receives any premiums, whether in full or installments or other monies in cash, shall immediately, but not later than the next working day from the day of receipt, without any deductions of commissions or otherwise, remit the premiums or money in cash to the insurer. And C, in subclause 7, by deleting the words commits an offense and shall on conviction be. Justification to include HMOs in the regulation and to allow for prompt and appropriate action to be taken by the authority which will enhance regulation.
The members, I put the question that clause 91 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 91 as amended.
Put the question that clause 91 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 92.
92, Honorable Chair. I put the question that clause 92 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 93.
Honorable Chair.
Clause 93, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. In subclause 5A, by inserting the words suspend or immediately after the words authority, may in the second line, and B, inserting the words in case of revocation immediately after the word transfer in the last line. Justification: to allow the authority to suspend those insurance intermediaries that may not comply with the provision.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 93 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 93 as amended.
Put the question that clause 93 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 94.
Put the question that clause 94 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 95.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 95, we propose to amend in subclause 2 by deleting the words 5,000 and substituting the words 500. Justification: that the penalty is excessive for loss assessors and loss adjusters.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 95 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 95 as amended.
Put the question that clause 95 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 96.
Put the question 96. Honourable Chair.
Madam Chair, clause 96, we propose to amend it as follows. A, in subclause 1B, by deleting the word council and substituting the word vary, suspend, or revoke. B, in subclause 2, by inserting the words vary immediately after the word fines. And C, in subclause 2(1), by adding the words of competent jurisdiction. Justification is to enable the authority to have the power to vary, suspend, or revoke a license, and to provide for clarity under clause 2(1).
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 96 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 96 as amended.
Put the question that clause 96 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 97.
Put the question that clause 97 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 98.
I put the question that clause 98 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 99.
Put the question that clause 99 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 100.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 100, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it by deleting subclause 2 and substituting the following. 2, the micro-insurance organizations and insurance agents may, by statutory instrument, be exempted from the application of this part. Justification: the ICPs require the supervisor to be independent. Constant referral to the minister does not depict that independence.
Honourable members, I put the question that clause 100 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 100 as amended.
Put the question that clause 100 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 101.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 101, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. A, in subclause 2A, by deleting the words increase or reduce the person's shareholding and substituting the words significantly increase or reduce the person's control. B, immediately after subclause 2, insert a new subclause 3 to read as follows, and the clause be renumbered. 3, for the purposes of subsection 2A, regulations made under this act shall specify the circumstances in which an increase or reduction in a person's control is significant. Justification, Madam Chair, is that the definition of substantial shareholder does not comply with the ICPs, and it is important that the authority has the power to issue a directive to a substantial shareholder requiring the shareholders, for example, to dispose of the shares held, or some of them, as this represents an interference with the property rights. It is considered essential that it is provided for in the primary legislation, not in the regulations.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 101 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 101 as amended.
Put the question that clause 101 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 102.
No, I think
Madam
there's a new
Chair.
one. There's a new one.
We propose to insert a new clause immediately after clause 101 to read as follows. Authority's power concerning significant owners. 1, the authority may issue a directive under subsection 3 to a person who becomes a significant owner in or acquires increased control over a licensee without obtaining the authority's prior written approval. Or B, a person who is a significant owner of a licensee if the authority has reasonable grounds for believing that 1, the person does not satisfy its fit and proper criteria, or 2, by virtue of the person's significant ownership in or control over the licensee, any of the factors specified in subsection 2 apply. 2, the factors referred to in subsection 1(b)(2) are that the licensee's ownership structure, A, is not appropriate, having regard to the nature, scale, and complexity of its licensed business. B, adversely affects its financial soundness or the ability of the authority to supervise it. Or C, is prejudicial to its customers. 3, if any of the circumstances specified in subsection 1 apply, the authority may issue a directive to the person. A, requiring the person to dispose of the person's interest in the licensee in whole or in part within such a time period as is specified in the notice, or B, prohibiting the person from exercising any rights, including voting rights, attached to the interest. 4, where the authority issues a directive under subsection 3A to a person, it may direct that during the period before the person's interest is disposed of, the person is prohibited from exercising any rights, including voting rights, and the rights to receive a distribution attached to the interest. 5, Section 106, 107, and 111 apply in relation to any disposal to be made in compliance with a directive issued under subsection 1. 6, a person who without reasonable excuse fails to comply with the requirements of a directive issued under this section commits an offense and is liable to conviction to a fine not exceeding 1,000 currency points. Our justification, Madam Chair, is to empower the authority with powers to issue directives to significant owners and to require the significant owners to comply with the requirements of the fit and proper test.
Chair, I just wanted to know, you're talking about section 106, 107, 111 of which law? Section under 5, you have said section 106, 107, and 111 apply. Section these of which law? So it should be closed, 106. Okay. So we're just that to close, it should be a section after the law becomes...
Madam Chair, I would like to repeat 5 by replacing the word section with clause.
Okay, honourable members, I put the question that a new clause be inserted as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Aye. Ayes have it. 102. Oh.
Clause 102.
Put the question that clause 102 do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 103.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 103, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it in subclause 2 by deleting the word 15 and substituting the word 10. Justification is to shorten the time within which the authority should be notified of the changes that occur.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 103 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 103 as amended.
The question is that clause 103 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 104.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 104, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it as follows. A, in subclause 1, by adding words direct the licensee to immediately after the words by written notice. B, in subclause 1A, by deleting the words direct the removal of that person and 2, and substituting the words remove that person. And C, by deleting subclause 2D and substituting the following. A person undertaking any function for a licensee specified by regulations for the purpose of this section. D, by inserting new subclause 5 and 6 as follows. 5. If a licensee becomes aware of any information that is reasonably material to the authority's fit and proper assessment of the person concerned, it shall notify the authority of the information as soon as reasonably practicable. 6. A licensee that contravenes subsection 5 commits an offense and is liable to a fine not exceeding 500 currency points. Justification, Madam Chair, is 1, for better drafting. 2, it is a known fact that statutory instruments are usually made by the minister. Therefore, there is no need to have the word specifically stated. And 3, to provide a requirement for the licensee to notify the authority if it becomes aware that a director, senior manager, etc. is not fit and proper.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 104 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 104 as amended.
Put the question that clause 104 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 105.
Madam Chair,
This is something new.
Madam Chair, we propose to insert a new clause immediately after clause 104 to read as follows. Information to be furnished by an insurer or HMO. 1. An insurer or HMO shall prepare and cause to be submitted to the authority an audited balance sheet within 3 months after the end of its financial year. Sorry? Madam Chair, I think it was an anomaly to make 4 months. I'm trying to amend by putting 3 to be consistent with the Auditor General requirements in the National Audit Act. 2, an insurer or HMO shall exhibit throughout the year in a conspicuous place in each of its offices and branches, and shall publish in a local newspaper of general circulation within 4 months after the end of the financial year the following. If the report comes out in 3 months, we have to give a period upon which it can be saturated. That's why this remains 4. A copy of the following. A copy of the Auditor General's report. B, a statement of financial position clearly indicating the names and signatories of the directors. C, a statement of comprehensive income. D, the company's own statement of comprehensive income and financial position before consolidating its performance with other sister companies. E, solvency ratios, claims ratios, and management expense ratios for the current and previous financial year. Our justification, Madam Chair, is to modify and provide for the publication and display of the copy of the auditor's report, a statement of financial position clearly indicating the names and signatories of the directors, a statement of comprehensive income, solvency ratios, claims ratios, and management expense ratios for the current and previous year.
Honourable members, the question is that a new clause be introduced as proposed. Yes, Honourable Mpugu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just asking the chairperson whether he is willing to substitute the word general saturation in subclause 2 to call it wide saturation. All newspapers generally saturate, but not all of them widely saturate. The word nearly used is wide saturation. If you say general saturation, it can be any. So wide saturation as opposed to general. General is as general as it sounds.
Madam Chair, I agree with the proposal from Masaka Municipality.
Okay, Honourable members, I put the question that the clause be further amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 105.
105, Honourable Chair.
Clause 105, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it in subclause 4 by deleting the words default civil in line 2 of the clause. Justification is that they are redundant words.
So you are going to is liable to a fine, not exceeding 1,000 currency points, without the word civil, default civil.
Sorry?
When you remove those words, what you're left with is liable to a fine not exceeding 1,000 currency points.
Yes.
What is the default civil? You haven't also told us the facultative. Eh? Okay, honourable members, put the question that clause 105 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Aye. Ayes have it.
Clause 105 as amended.
Put the question that clause 105 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Aye. Ayes have it.
Clause 106.
Honourable Chair.
Madam Chair, we propose to amend clause 106 as follows. A, in subclause 1, by inserting the words risk advisors immediately after the words loss adjusters. B, in subclause 3, by deleting the words and any other financial reporting standards prescribed by regulations under this Act and substituting the words as adopted by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. Justification, Madam Chair, 1 is to include risk advisors to the list, and 2, the Council of ISPAO is empowered under Section 12(1) of the Accountants Act 2013 to issue and adopt international accounting and auditing standards and promote their usage in Uganda and make suitable adaptation where necessary.
No members, the question is that clause 106 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 106 as amended.
Put the question that clause 106 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 107.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 107, we propose to amend it in A, by deleting the word insurer wherever it appears in the clause and substituting the word licensee. B, by deleting paragraph C of subclause 3 and substituting the following. B, an accounting firm or practicing accountant licensed by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. C, by adding a new paragraph E to read as follows. The audit has been conducted in accordance with the International Standards on Auditing as adopted by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. Justification. 1. The requirements are applicable to the licensees and not the insurers. 2. A person cannot act as an auditor without a valid license and or a certificate of practice issued by the Institute of Certified Public Accounts of Uganda.
Honourable members, I put the question that was 107 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 107 as amended.
Put the question that was 107 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 108.
108, Honourable Chair.
Clause 108, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it in subclause 1 by inserting the words to which section, to which, Madam Chair, I beg to replace the word section with clause.
Okay, Honourable members, you finished?
No. Madam Chair, we propose to amend clause 108 as follows. In subclause 1, by inserting the words to which clause 106 applies immediately after the words a licensee on the first line. Justification is that the section is intended to apply to those licensees specified under clause 106.
Honourable members, I put the question that was 107 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 107 as amended.
Put the question that was 107 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 108.
Honourable Chair. 108 or 109? No, we got 109. We passed one, we're doing the 108. Put the question that was 108 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 108 as amended.
Put the question that was 108 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 109.
Honourable Chair.
Madam Chair, we propose that clause 109 be deleted and substituted with the following. Financial statements. 1. Every licensee shall prepare and submit the authority within 3 months from the end of each financial year a prescribed form, in a prescribed form, annual reports containing A, prescribed particulars relating to all financial transactions undertaken by it during that year, including, where applicable, a director's certificate, financial condition report. B, a certified true copy of its financial statements, an auditor's certificate, and any reports presented to shareholders. C, returns that shall be in the prescribed form in the regulations. D, auditor's report. E, any report on the affairs of the licensee made to its shareholders in respect of the financial year. F, details of commission scales and incentive plans, bonuses, or other incentives. G, a statement detailing premiums which remain unpaid by the insured, and H, any other information that the authority may require as may be specified in the regulations. 2, a licensee shall, in respect of and within such period as may be specified in regulations made under this Act, submit to the authority A, periodic financial statements that may be unaudited. B, a return in the form approved by the authority, if any, and C, such other information and documentation as may be specified in the regulations. 3, every intermediary to which Clause 106 applies shall, in accordance with international financial reporting standards adopted by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, keep proper books and submit to the authority such annual and periodic returns and documents as the authority may, by regulations require to be submitted to it within the period specified in the regulations. 4, where the authority considers that financial statements or documents submitted by a licensee under this section are inaccurate or incomplete, or that they are not prepared in accordance with the accounting standards, the authority may reject the financial statements or documents. 5, where the authority rejects financial statements or documents under subsection 4, the authority shall issue appropriate directives to the licensee to rectify the inaccuracy or incompleteness and resubmit the financial statements or documents. And if the licensee does not comply with the directive, the authority may amend the financial statements or documents at the cost of the licensee. The justification, Madam Chair, is to make the law comply with ICP 9 that requires the supervisor to take a risk-based approach to supervision that uses both off-site monitoring and on-site inspection to examine the business of each insurer, evaluate its condition, risk profile, and conduct the quality and effectiveness of its corporate governance and its compliance with relevant legislation and supervisory requirements. The supervisor obtains the necessary information to conduct effective supervision of the insurers and evaluate the insurance market.
No members? Yes, Honorable Mpuga. We're on 109.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair. I find subclause 1, B and E almost similar. Because if you look at, if you're talking about certified true copy of the financial statements an auditor's certificate, and annual reports presented to the shareholders. We need to know that there's a difference between annual report of the affairs of the licensee made to its shareholders in respect of the financial year. The audit and any other reports referred to in B are the same you're referring to in E, unless otherwise explained that they are different. Would you love to clarify whether B subclause 1
B and E. You have a problem with the B and E?
and E? We seem to be referring to the same matters and therefore may not have to be repetitive. I suggest that we do away with the E and retain B because they're referring to the same matters.
No, just wait a minute. I thought here in E you are dealing with the licensees. Are the shareholders the same as the licensees? Because B is presented to the shareholders. Then E, report on the affairs of the licensee, made the shareholders of the licensee, I think. Yes, Honorable Siazi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. B clearly specifies on financial statements, and E is talking about any other reports. And an insurance company could have other insurance reports to make apart from the financials. Thank you.
In one, they are dealing with the authority, but in this one, it's the licensees reporting to their shareholders. Honourable members, I put the question that was 109 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 109 as amended.
Put the question that was 109 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Clause 110.
Yes, Chair.
Madam Chair, we propose to delete clause 110, and our justification is that the concept of a solvency margin is a term that is not used in modern risk-based insurance supervision. Under a modern risk-based prudential framework, insurers are required to hold capital based on risk. Furthermore, clause 48 already establishes a capital-based framework. The solvency margin methodology is wholly inconsistent with the capital-based approach established in clause 48.
No members, put the question that was 110 be deleted. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Ayes have it.
Clause 111.
Honourable Chair.
Clause 111, Madam Chair, we propose to amend it by deleting subclause 2 and substituting the following. The authority may require that the group financial statements are audited by the auditor of the licensee or by another auditor authorized by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda and approved by the authority in writing. Justification: a person cannot act as an auditor without a valid license and or a certificate of practice issued by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda.
Honourable members, the question is that clause 110, no, 111 be amended. Another amendment? Yes. Honourable Stella.
Thank you. I'm wondering why section 2 we are giving that leeway of may, not shall.
Pardon?
Section we say authority may require that the group financial statements are audited. Why should we put may and not shall?
So they can choose not to.
Because they may not.
Do you have a problem with adding shall there instead of may?
I'd like to help the chair. The coaching of this subsection in mandatory terms, because the authority requiring auditing comes with a presupposition that something is wrong. So you don't have to coach it in mandatory terms. May, because there may be, there may not be. I think this presupposes that necessarily there may not be anything wrong. If we suspect wrongdoing, we may not. But my other problem with this subsection is that why do we need approval of the authority if the institute has actually recommended? Are we giving the authority room to reject the choice of the institute? Must it really authorize, or may choose another word other than approval? Does it have to approve?
I want members to also go back to the clause we passed, where they say that the authority may, the periodic financial statements that may be unaudited. Yes, Honorable Sassis.
Madam Chairperson, in Uganda, the Institute of Certified Public Accountants is mandated to license all practicing accountants. However, organizations are at liberty to pre-qualify from the list of licensed accountants, those they can use. And our provision is aimed at giving the authority leeway to be able to pre-qualify from the list of already licensed accountants, those it thinks it can work with. And Madam Chairperson, unaudited financial statements. Madam Chairperson, all these proposals are aimed at facilitating the risk-based approach to regulation. And why we provided for unaudited financial statements to be availed is because we want to enable accessibility to all relevant information possible, to enable risk-based approach to take course.
But you still not answered the question the member raised. Why may instead of shall? Why do you leave it optional?
Madam Chairperson, this has to do with the drafting. For us in the accountants profession, we don't necessarily use these words interchangeably. However, when somebody says may, it means you can audit or you cannot.
It means it's optional. You can do it or you cannot do it. But I think what the members are saying, it should be an obligation.
Madam Chair, we have already provided for the mandatory one.
Where?
Under the previous, is it 109 or? Let's see. Auditor's report. Information
Yes,
from
Honorable
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm a member of the committee. I thought that Honorable from Masaka provided a feasible explanation that at this stage, if we suspect, if the authority suspects that the accounts are not proper, then it can call for an audit. But where the accounts are found to be okay, then there will be no need for an audit. Thank you.
Madam Chair, the word may there is very correct. Just the connotation is this: the audit of the consolidated accounts in a situation of subsidiary companies. Therefore, some auditors are big audit firms and others are small. So where the authority is not satisfied that the auditor of the consolidated accounts is a small firm, may require a bigger firm to carry the work. Thank you.
Okay, honourable members, the question is that clause 111 be amended as proposed. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no.
Clause 111 as amended.
Put the question that clause 111 as amended do stand part of the bill. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it.
Motion for the House to resume.
Honourable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto.
Honourable members, the question is that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House do report thereto. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no.
Report from the Committee of the Whole House.
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the Insurance Bill 2017 and passed clauses 39 to clause 111.
Motion for adoption of the report from the Committee of the Whole House.
Yes, with amendments, Honourable Minister. You didn't just pass what you brought. Report properly.
I thought it was obvious. With amendments, Madam Speaker.
Motion for the adoption of the report from the Committee of the Whole House.
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the whole House be adopted.
Honourable members, I put the question that the report of the Committee of the whole House be adopted. Those in favour say aye, the contrary no. Please have it. Honourable members, we've done some work, but we still have maybe another 40 clauses to go. But I want to suspend the House until 2:30. We come back to finish the bill and do the other business, which is on the order paper. On what?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank you for all the work we have done, and the Minister and the Chairperson of the committee. Madam Speaker, the procedure matter I'm raising is whether it will be procedure okay. You compare the Attorney General to be here when we are having these bills. We don't have the Attorney General, we don't have his deputy, and to make matters worse, Madam Speaker, we also go to his office, he's never there. Imagine we have handled a bill here where there is no input of the Attorney General. I had something to say, but I had to keep quiet. That's why you saw the chairperson was saying, we economists. These are matters of law where there is legislative drafting. And the Attorney General does not appear here. Really, how is he going to put into practice this law? So, Madam Speaker, we have complained about the Attorney General and his deputy. I think I would request whether it will be procedure okay, you compel them to be there. If not, we get somebody else. Otherwise, this cannot happen. The Attorney General must be here. They would be the first one in this house before the Speaker comes in. We know this law, we can say something about the law, but we must have arguments with him, and there was nobody to argue with. I had to keep quiet until the bill went on. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, honour members, there were some definitions we wanted explained, and up to now no one has explained them to us. So, facultative sessions. But we are finished. We may be reporting in the afternoon, but I think it's important for the Attorney General's deputy to come, so that if there are areas we need assistance, they should be able to assist us. Okay, no members, House suspended until 2:30.
Sobora,